I just did a cardio workout, so I'm a little sweaty and not dressed apparently. Ugh. Okay, so a couple things. One, how cool is this? So you guys know that I talked a lot about Hazel and what it takes and um, creating a care book for her. And I came across this. I'm sure you can find it anywhere. I got this one at CVS. It has like, okay, emergency information, home, finances, insurance, health. Like this is like the care book for the rest of the house. As login information, just everything in one spot. And I don't know about you, but David and I constantly give each other information and then we lose it. So we would keep this in one spot and then keep it in the safe. But I think that's a cool idea. So if you guys ever want or have trouble with that, that is awesome. On a side note, so I attend to butt heads with some people. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I am okay with not being everyone's cup of tea. Like, I am fully aware that I'm not, and not everyone is mine. And even in my head, I'm like, love them where they're at. Think of them as a child. Like, I'm like literally like trying to wrap my head around their nonsense. And then someone was like, I think you guys butt heads because you have a lot of similarities. And I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. And she's like, but I think you also butt heads because you're expected to be a hot mess and you're not. And I was like, what? You know what I mean? I was caught off guard. You're expected to be, with your past, you're expected to be a hot mess, but you're not. And that person is, and that's why that person is frustrated with you. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but okay. And I was like, why am I not a hot mess? So then, because how my brain works, I reverse engineered it to see why not. And it started, so a little back story. I was misdiagnosed. I had a lot going on throughout my life. I was an addict, a different kind of childhood. So there is a lot of things that I don't talk about publicly that I should be a hot mess for. But 7 years ago, I stopped talking to any of my friends that did drugs. So that's when it started. Like, technically, that's when it started. Around 7 years ago, I was homeless on an air mattress. Well, not technically homeless. Okay, I was semi-homeless on an air mattress in a apartment that had no hot water, that had no electricity, and that was like my rock bottom, right? Drugs, and that was my rock bottom. And that was only 7 years ago. Okay, so I stopped hanging out with those people. I stopped hanging out with anyone and everyone who surrounded that, and I just had to escape. Okay, and then I started going to school. I got into college. I left college because I kept getting pregnant and I just couldn't handle it. But I just started the learning again. And I want to say how important that is, because if you're not learning, you're stagnant. And if you're not growing, being stagnant and not wanting to grow is why people get in funks and why people get depressed and why people aren't happy with their lives, because they're not pursuing anything and they're not doing anything besides like a daily ritual, endless rat race cycle. So 7 years ago, left all the people that did drugs, started learning again. Okay, 5 years ago, okay, that was 5 years ago. I wrote it down because I was like, why am I different? Why am I not a hot mess? 3 years ago, I removed anyone that caused drama. I mean, anyone. A catty Facebook post that made me question who I am, blocked. Anyone who started any drama, or like, we can talk, and then they go around and tell everyone my business. Goodbye, Felicia. Anyone, family, friends, everyone who caused drama or caused me to second guess myself, I cut ties with. And I can't tell you how important that is, because when you see drama all the time, you think everyone has drama. But once you remove drama, you're like, oh, hey, there's only drama when that person comes around, and it becomes more like relevant. Like, you could go without drama, and then one person enters your life for like a visit, and then all of a sudden all this chaos happens, and you're like, that person brought drama to me, so I need to remove that person. It's that simple. And it's hard, and it took me a decade to cut one person out, but you have to do it. You have to surround yourself with good people. And that's number 2. I surrounded myself surrounded myself with good people that lift me up, that make me push, that make me learn, that make me go for goals, that make me better myself. Not with like you need to do this. But by them leading by example and me wanting to be not like them, but change in that manner. You know what I mean? Like I know who I want to be, and I know where I was and how I'm not going back there, but I also know that it takes work to get there. So removing people with drama, constantly learning. And when I mean constantly learning, that becomes mentally strong, because I'm someone who used to have panic attacks at like the drop of a hat. Like anything. I remember vividly having a panic attack and an ex-boyfriend looking at me like, what is your problem? And just get a grip. You have to physically do work to become mentally strong. And it's not like doing push-ups is going to make you strong. That just makes you stand up a little taller and get more confidence. You know what I mean? But you, like, books. I read a crap ton of books. I'm reading 2 books right now. Books about self-help, like those self-help books that everyone makes fun of, they're actually like have a purpose and serve a purpose, and they make you second guess everything that you're taught your entire freaking life. And you're sitting there and you're like, I never looked at it that way. Okay? So constant books, constant good developing, personal development, personal growing, self-help podcasts, YouTube channels, anything that can bring me value, that can make me guess or look at life as a different perspective. So that constantly, and like the minimum 10-15 minutes a day, minimum for 3 years. More likely like 2 hours as I clean the house in the ferret cage and cook and give baths. Okay, like I have an earbud in almost all the time, and that's because I'm listening, because I think of it as not like a chore. I think of personal development books and podcasts and audiobooks and all of that as I have to rewire and undo all the crap that has been done for 32 years. So it takes a lot of work. No Drama Tribe and personal development. And like when I started to work on me, like sincerely started to work on me, like down to like food, like I just ate beef jerky and now my stomach looks like I'm 3 months pregnant. I have to remove beef jerky because that's my body reacting to something in that food, like all the way down to that. All right, I'm really bitchy today. Why am I bitchy? Oh, I didn't drink enough water, or I only had caffeine, or I didn't get enough sleep. Like self-evaluation helps you get there, but you also learn to pick your battles. With this comes with personal development, picking your battles. People say stupid crap at me all the time. And my face wants to go like, why? And my reflex of being a smartass wants to say something, but you can't convince someone who is in a dramatic state of life, not like day or hour, like a dramatic state of life, anything but what is their truth. And it is perspective. So if you want to show them a different perspective, you can try, but they're not going to get it until they hit that deflated mattress with no power, rock bottom. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't have to hit rock bottom to want to grow, but you have to do something every day consistently. Remove people that are dramatic and full of drama, personal growth. Like those are the things that I did become mentally strong. And that person is frustrated with me because I'm not a hot mess. And I think, or I know, it's because of these little things that I have slowly done that helps me believe in myself over time. You don't have to convince someone anything. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. But it's important to know that if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is gonna. And if you don't take yourself seriously, and you don't know what's walking out that door in the morning, in what mood you're gonna be, and everything is everyone else's fault but not yours, and you're happy and then you're crazy and then you're angry and then you're psych. Like if you don't have control over those emotions enough to like step out of the situation and self-evaluate yourself, it's never going to end. You have to get a grip on your own emotions and your own words and your own self-talk and affirmations, and you have to get a grip on all of that to become mentally strong. And I'm not like mentally super strong like I know I'm going to be, but I know I'm in the right direction, and I sure hell know I am not that hot mess chick that was party hopping 7 years ago. I'm not anyone who I was 5 years ago or 3 years ago or even a year and a half ago. And it all takes consistent work and consistent growing and consistent pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So I hope that clarifies. And I know that probably sounds like a lot. But seriously, remove people that have drama. That's step one. Do good self-talk. If you hear yourself doing bad self-talk, you're not going to say that shit to your kids, right? No, so stop saying it to yourself. Good self-talk. 3, do something that fuels your mind every day. Personal development book, YouTube, podcast, any of that. And do something physical. A body emotion stays emotion. A body at rest stays at rest. If you don't do something physical, you're going to get tired and you're going to get sleepy. And then you're not going to grow. And then you're going to get stagnant. And then you're going to get depressed. And you're going to lay on your couch and blame everyone else for your problems but you. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because that is what I broke it down to the past 7 years, from my hot mess of a decade of a life to, seriously, Ty? Hey, to where I am today. And I'm going to continue to do this forever because I can't not go to the person I was before, to the person that I'm going to become in 7 years, in 5 years, in 2 years, in 3 months. You guys are awesome, and I hope that helps. And don't forget this awesome book if you need it. I think it's like a stress reliever. You guys are awesome. Bye.